Hello guys, it's Glenn from Sydney CBD Repair Center, and today we have an ROG Phone 5 that has been fixed up by its owner, and we're gonna finish it. So this ROG Phone 5 came to us in many pieces. You can see the main housing and frame with the display and some bags of miscellaneous parts. The owner of this smartphone attempted to DIY the screen replacement, but they were unable to finish the job. So David here will give a helping hand. We still admire the owner for taking the initiative, but we can't really blame him or her for trying because this is quite a complicated smartphone to fix. So you have the top board already removed. You can see some thermal paste already splattered on the heat sink. Those are the blue paste you can see on the silver parts of the smartphone. We are gonna lift this battery up, and we have noticed that there's some damages on this smartphone. So we have a brand new display here. We're gonna insert it and try it if it's gonna work with the main board. I'm gonna plug this in. So you have two battery parts. You have the one on top and one at the bottom. In the middle you have layers of boards. You have two, and this is the first damage that we saw. David is really worried that this can cause a catastrophic fire or explosion, so we're just gonna tape it up with this heat resistant tape. I think this battery is still good. It's not loaded, it's not heating up. So we're just gonna prevent any further damage to this battery cell. We're gonna clean up the frame. So the frame also is bent. So David is testing it and gonna perform some chiropractic magic on this ROG Phone 5 frame. It's aluminium, so you can bend it at specific points, which is still okay. Not doing it many times because it's gonna break the housing. And now he's cleaning up the frame. The frame also lacks the plastic component that goes in between the chassis and the display itself. So here we have our replacement plastic frame, and we're gonna plug this in and putting our own liquid adhesive. So the display itself is not attached to the housing metal to metal. It's gonna be making lots of gaps on the sides. So we have here the plastic frame. Gonna put this on top of the chassis and align it quite nicely, and we're gonna wait for it to be attached. The sides are quite flimsy, so you can just dislodge it if you are not careful and you not let it dry for a few minutes. See here, David is just positioning it so it cures nicely into place. Also have the front camera cleaned up, and now we are putting another layer of liquid adhesive on top of the plastic frame. So this one is for the actual display itself. So the display will stand on top of the plastic frame on top of the chassis. So that's the order by which you install them. Then we're just gonna press in on the sides and corners, make sure all three parts are laid tight top one another. There you go, we're almost done. We're just gonna make sure that the internal components are installed to its proper place. So I'm not really sure how to fix a smartphone that's been opened, but David is an expert, so he knows the place on which to put on where to put the components that we can see here in the bag. We also have missing screws, so yeah, that's gonna be an issue. If you have opened the device, make sure you finish it immediately, or you catalog all the screws that you remove from the device. Fortunately for us, missing screws is not really an issue with ASUS smartphones. With iPhones, it's gonna be an issue. Some of them are serving as ground points, and this one we have a few missing screws, and also the owner forgot to bring the SIM card tray. A SIM card tray is still easy to install at home, so it's gonna be his responsibility to put it back in. And we are now gonna deal with some miscellaneous parts. You can see that the back cover is already positioned, the flex cable is already attached, and we're just gonna close this device up. And it's now an ASUS ROG Phone 5 in its full form. Gonna see if it's gonna work, and it doesn't. I think this is low on battery. It should work because it took a lot of work to put it back together. And as always, it's just low battery, maybe a few minutes of charging, and it's now okay. The front cameras are okay, buttons, touchscreen, display, all good. So I hope you enjoyed this, guys. I hope you learned something. If you DIY your own screen replacement, make sure you have a backup. You have a plan B, and the plan B can be your local service technician like David here. Like and subscribe. Be inspired to fix your own devices, and we hope to see you again next time. Take care of yourself, guys. Cheers.
If you want your smartphone fixed for a very reasonable price, you may contact Sydney CBD Repair Center. We also provide mail-in repair services for customers outside of Australia or Sydney. Just message us so we can arrange the shipping of your device.